Hello, this is Lucy here with Spiritually Free, and today I want to talk about how you are the sun. I want to break down this concept because I think this is very important when understanding how we relate to our place in the universe and how we are reflections of the universe above us. So, I want to get into how we are as individuals the sun. We are individual suns. So I'm going to start with explaining how the 12 constellations or the 12 zodiac constellations in the sky, how they are inside of you. So there is a universal law, as within, so without. So there's several universal laws, but this is just one of them. So this concept is that you are a reflection of everything that is outside of you. Okay, so just like you are a reflection of your upbringing, you are also a reflection of this universe. So, as within, so without. So, ancient people who studied the heavens believed that we as conscious beings are a reflection of the space that we live under, which is why I termed it the astrological halo. You are a reflection of this space that you are under. So this is why people say that the universe is within you because you're a reflection of it. So just like if people say that the universe is God, then and the universe is within you, then that means that God is within you. So if God is within you, then that means this would be talking about your spirit that is within you. Okay, so just like your spirit is floating within you, you are floating within your own personal universe. Okay, so inside of your body is where your spirit dwells, and inside of your body is your own personal universe. Just like there's a universe above us. Now, the universe above is 12 constellations, has 12 constellations, and so does yours. Yours also has 12 constellations. So your spirit is floating around through these 12 constellations, which is your astrological halo, obviously. So the sun moves through these 12 constellations in the sky, and so does your soul. Your soul moves through these 12 constellations in the sky. So, but don't confuse your soul with your spirit. So your spirit is the essence of you that dwells within your own universe. So your spirit is only conscious of one reality, which is your personal perspective. That's your spirit. But your soul is conscious of your spirit's reality or your personal reality and the reality of others. So your soul has a dual reality, while your spirit has only one reality, which is your personal perspective. So let me explain the realities. So you don't see things the same as your friends. You don't experience and feel things like your friends. They live in their own perspective or reality of the world. Okay, they have their views and they have their feelings and their emotions, and you have yours. So those two perspectives can also be seen as two different universes. So since you live in your own literal universe, that's where your spirit dwells in this universe. Now, your soul contains your spirit. So your soul has your spirit within it. And your soul has a dual nature. It can see through spirit's reality and through the reality of others. And the reason why you have dual realities is because even though you have your own perspective, you still share a common reality with the people around you because you live in a civilization, you share customs, you see things the way that you can relate to seeing things the way other people see them. So there's a shared reality that your soul dwells in, but there is your own personal reality that your spirit dwells in. So don't mistake your personal spirit with your soul, which has consciousness of both realities. So you are essentially split between two realities. Okay, and the soul contains the split. Okay, the soul is has within it the spirit, and it's the soul. So it has both. That's why your brain has two halves. Okay, your brain has a right side, and which is seen as more creative or more imaginative or more spiritual. Okay, that's the right side of the brain. So that would be the spirit side of the brain. And then the left side is concerned with logic and the reality of others. So that would be your soul side, your soul that is connected to the reality of others. So your brain is pretty much your soul, and your soul contains your spirit, which is your right half of your brain. And all of this together represents the sun or your soul. So the sun is basically your soul. Okay, so the sun in the sky is a representation of your own soul within your own body. So the soul represents the universal law of duality, because the soul contains the spirit, which is your own universe, and it also, the soul is the part of you that is in another universe, which is the universe you share with other people. So in astrology, the sun represents the marriage of the spirit to the soul. Okay, that's what in astrology, the sun represents the spirit and the soul coming together as one. And this is contained within man, and aka the brain being inside of man. So your soul is inside of you, and just like your brain is inside of you. So that's why when you see pictures of ancient people from back in the day, or the heads of ancient figures, they have these suns behind their head. These are sun rays. The light is behind them, because that's a representation of the sun. Okay, they are the sun. They're telling you in this picture that they are the sun. So you have constellations inside of your universe and a sun zooming around in there with spirit. Okay, so just like your brain is floating in your body, your soul is floating around in your universe through your 12 constellations. So you are the sun of your universe, and that's why so many cultures worship the sun. It brought life and light in all ways. We're made of the light from the sun. We're literally made of sunlight. Even scientists will say that we are made of stardust. But not just any star, mainly the star that's right next to us, the closest star to us. So if you think about it, you are a walking, talking, conscious sun. You are. The ancient people knew this. This is why they represented themselves as suns. And that's why they worshiped sun gods, because they knew that they were walking, talking sun particles. In the Bible, Jesus is referred to as the Son, not just the Son of God, but a literal son. So I'm going to read from this website that talks about exactly that. Okay. So the star in the east is Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, which on December 24th aligns with the three brightest stars in Orion's belt. These three stars in Orion's belt are called today what they were called in ancient times, the three kings. And the three kings and the brightest star Sirius all point to the place of the sunrise on December 25th. So these stars, they all point to the sun rising on December 25th. This is why the three kings follow the star in the east in order to locate the sunrise or the birth of the sun. There is another interesting phenomenon that occurs around December 25th, or the winter solstice. From the summer solstice to the winter solstice, the days become shorter and colder, and from the perspective of the northern hemisphere, the sun appears to move south and get smaller and more scarce. The shortening of the days and the expiration of the crops when approaching the winter solstice symbolized the process of death to the ancients. It was the death of the sun. And by December 22nd, the sun's demise was fully realized, for the sun, having moved south continuously for 6 months, makes it to its lowest points in the sky. Here, a curious thing occurs. The sun stops moving south, at least perceivably, for 3 days, and during this 3 day pause, the sun resides in the vicinity of the Southern Cross, or the Crux constellation. And after this time, on December 25th, the sun moves 1 degree, this time north, foreshadowing longer days, warmth, and spring. And thus it was said the sun died on the cross, was dead for 3 days, only to be resurrected or born again. So just like Jesus represents the sun, so do you. We are all made of this stardust. We are all sons of our individual gods or individual universe. We're all sons of gods. This is why ancient people worship sun gods, and like I mentioned before, and why most Christians are worshiping a sun god now. Jesus Christ is a sun god. We just read the description of how Jesus was born the same time the sun is so-called born, or seen in the constellation as being born. This is something you can visually see with your eyes. So this is not something people are lying about. This is the same day of Jesus being born. So this is how Jesus is basically the sun, and you're worshiping a sun god. But if you are a reflection of the sun, then you are a sun in your own universe, and there is no need to worship this other sun. Okay, there's no need to worship this sun in the sky. This sun's role and purpose is to bring life and light. That's it. You don't have to pray to this sun. You don't have to, worship this sun, but you do observe this sun. And this is what the ancients did. They observed the sun, and this is why we have this study of astrology and astronomy, because people would observe the universe above them, because whatever's going on out there in that universe is a reflection of what's going on here. And this is why people observed the astrological year. They would follow the sun, just like, so it would be an internal journey for them as well as a real physical journey through agriculture and harvest. But it's also a spiritual journey throughout the year. On December 22nd, the sun dies, or this is when we're in winter solstice here. So technically, the sun dies, the crops are dead, the plants are dead, everything, there is no harvest. Okay, so the sun dies here. So technically, who you were last year also died. Okay, your old sun or your old soul died during this time, if you're a reflection of this sun. And on December 25th, your sun is thus reborn, because this is the foreshadowing of spring. We know that spring is going to come based on the days getting longer after December 25th. So this is the rebirth of the sun. This is the foreshadowing of the new crops that are going to come. So this is the birth of your soul, or the sun getting warmer. So this is when you should be doing New Year's resolutions, because on December 25th, honestly, because this is when your soul is being renewed, reborn. So this is the time to make resolutions or intentions for this new coming astrological year. So just as the sun is going to progress through the seasons, leaving winter, going into spring, and then summer and fall, you're going to do something similar with your own sun and with your own spiritual nature. So during the winter is a time of introspection and forgiving yourself for any old deeds or anything that you may have done last year, and making the intentions for the upcoming spring to do things better or do things right or make a change. This is when you're taking the time to really think about the new you that you're going to spring forth when spring comes. Now, the spring brings in a new zest for life. This is when we plant those ideas that we thought about in the winter, and we begin to see them blossom. So we planted them in our minds during the spring, and we begin to work on them, and We see them blossom, and this is the time when you can really practice trusting yourself and believing in yourself and knowing that just as the plants will arise, your ideas and the things that you want to manifest, they also will rise and blossom and bloom. So spring is a good time to spring forth with this new you and move forward through the year trusting yourself. And during the summer, the sun is at its highest peak. And this is also where your energy should be. You know, you've just left spring, you had this new you, and now you're filled with the energy of yourself and your trust, knowing that things are going to work out as you will them to. And this is the time to really mix work and play and really work on those ideas and putting the work into those ideas that you had from the winter, really putting the work in to make them happen, but also taking the time to not overwork yourself completely. So have balance and enjoy your life and play. You know, live life to the fullest. So summer is all about work and play and having a good balance. Then the sun is going to go into fall, and so shall you. So this will be the time when nature falls away. You'll begin to see the trees and things, you know, change, and winter is going to come back so soon. So this is when we begin to recognize what ideas didn't work for us, and what feelings and what people aren't accommodating to our life. You know, we just endured this year, so we were able to observe who or what didn't work for me. And so fall is all about recognizing what you need to let go of and what you need to hold on to as you move into the winter again. So you're following the sun through its astrological progression, but you're observing yourself through this time. You're not worshiping this sun in a sense. You're just using it as a guide through what's going on with yourself spiritually. Okay, so I said all of this to basically say that you are the sun. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. You are the sun. And that's what it means to also find Christ. You know, when you find Christ within, you're basically finding the light or the warmth within yourself. Okay, you know that you're divine light. That's when people say that I am divine light within me. They're saying that that is the Christ within me. I have found my son. I have found my soul. Okay, and of course, you want to be Christ-like. Then you want to realize that you are thus a son. So just like the sun is powerful, you are just as powerful, and you can control your own destiny, and you can will your own spirit to do what you feel is good and what's right. Okay? And anything that you decide to do that's good and right shouldn't cause harm to others, and therefore it should be right to do if you know whatever it is you do. So you can will your soul to do what you feel is right in your heart, not based on what what a book tells you is right. You know what's right in your heart because you have your own spirit, your own soul, and you can feel what's right and what's wrong. So the point of this video was to encourage you to connect to your own inner sun. Connect to your own inner spirit, connect to your own inner soul. This is the most important and most vital thing you can do for yourself spiritually in this plane or on this earth, is to connect to your own spirit, soul, and thus your sun. You are the sun. This has been Spiritually Free. This is Lucy. Thank you so much.